Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Seattle Seahawks. With that, we're out to Seattle for the 32nd and final home opener of the 2018 season. Standing by are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, there are a few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect clear afternoon. Heck, you can see all the way to Mount Rainier in the distance here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the New Orleans Saints. Seated next to Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, this one featuring a couple of playoff teams from a season ago, back at it again in 2019.
And we both felt the confidence from both of these teams, right? They feel like they will be back in the playoffs again, but they shouldn't be overconfident. 7 teams last year made the playoffs that didn't make it the previous year, so you're not assured of going back year after year.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. Looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And one of the big bodies helping out this offense is your boy, Upati.
And all he wants to do is have running plays called. Fire out and smack people.
Waiting. Check 53, I got you, Pop.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And he's taken down here by the Saints. David Onyemata, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Now Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Fourth down, and out is the all-pro punter from a year ago, Michael Dixon, to punt for Seattle. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Saints under longtime head coach Sean Payton. They'll be taken out by the product of the University of Louisville, the talented Teddy Bridgewater.
His stature isn't huge. He's not one of the big, strong-arm guys that you see coming into the league. But his touch, decision-making, ability to make plays, that's why Teddy Bridgewater has a chance to be a top quarterback in the league.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
The Saints spent a 3rd-round pick on Traquan Smith out of UCF in 2018, and what a thrilling season for him. He was the guy that caught the pass from Drew Brees that moved him past Peyton Manning to become the all-time leading passer in NFL history.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the 1st down. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it.
Delay of game, offense.
I think probably just trying to draw him off there. It didn't work.
And defensively, that's what you work on all the time. Being in that spot and being able to not jump and give them the yardage that they were desiring.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That, too.
He's going to let this one go deep. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it, couldn't get it. And it's 2nd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This unit, they're hoping to improve against the pass because right now, Charles, number 27 in the NFL.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Here's Wilson. Going to throw again. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Let's see what you got.
They run it with Carson. The numbers on the ground for Carson last week, 15 carries, 60 yards.
They've won 2 straight games. They've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Play action. It's Wilson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Here's Wilson. That one going to be complete to David Moore. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
They go play action here on first down. Able to shake him off. And this is incomplete.
Yeah, very smart play right there. Pocket collapsing around him. Loved the way he moved around a little bit and avoided the sack.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Number 53, Mike 53.
To throw is Wilson. To throw again. His throw incomplete. Jaron Brown, the intended target. 3rd down here. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To throw is Wilson. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Here's Carson. And here he'll get it down to the 7. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Hey, check Mike 46. Check Mike 46. Hey, watch the slip.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. David Moore, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
All drives that result in points hurt a defense, but when they are the sustained variety, play after play, and they just can't get off the field and stop them, that can be demoralizing.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
1st down, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
The steal in the 2017 NFL Draft had to be running back Alvin Kamara out of Tennessee, who ended up being that year's NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. Split time with Mark Ingram his first 2 years in the league. With Mark Ingram now in Baltimore, it's his show. And through his first 2 years, almost equal yardage, rushing and receiving. Expect his rushing numbers to take a big leap in 2019.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Bridgewater to throw it. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 12 yards there and a 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. This is how the defense will line up for Seattle. They've been very good against the pass so far this year. Number 4 in the NFL right now.
What they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Shedding the tackle. Still on his feet. Excellent work on the run back there. 33 yards. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Carson. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. He's got Lockett. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk 1st down. Wilson now already at 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. They run the counter. It's Carson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And it's good to make it 14-0. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A gain of 6 there on first. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
He's checking. Crash.
On 4th down, they do snap it to Bridgewater. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. This quarterback now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. To throw, Bridgewater. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stuff. And here's a throw that's taken in by the tight end, Cook. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 15 yards on the play, first down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Going for it all. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Bridgewater again. Flushed down right. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Check curls, check curls, check
Now Wilson throwing again. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack. Well, there was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Left side complete to Lockett. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, y'all.
This is Carson. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down.
Come on, fellas.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Not today, you are. Not today.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And once more, this play going in the wrong direction. The Saints get to him behind the line again.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory.
Mike, 46. Get that quarterback.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 36.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Wilson now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on 1st down. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
On third down, Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football, because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Myers, the AFC's Pro Bowl kicker from a year ago. He was 6 out of 7 from 50-plus last year, and he converts another one here. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Escape. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. With a sack, it's Ziggy Ansah.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Throwing on second and long. Bridgewater. Thomas has got it. Complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
This quarterback now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. From the gun, Bridgewater. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it indeed. Here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching up another 15 against your squad.
Bridgewater. They'll set up the screen down to Kamara. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now it's a bootleg with Bridgewater. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility, the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
On third down, Bridgewater. And the pressure gets to him again. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. This one from 48 yards away. And Lutz's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
Chris Carson trotting back out there. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Wilson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards, the final tally. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. From midfield now, here's Wilson. They'll run the screen with Carson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 39.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Here's Wilson. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Kiko Alonso. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. To throw is Wilson. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
They missed a field goal. On their last drive here, they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. And that will be incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he takes it all the way across the 40 before going out of bounds. Time to take a glance into what we've seen so far from Teddy Bridgewater. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Bridgewater on first down. And that is incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it?
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Bobby Wagner, the former 2nd rounder out of Utah State, with a sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. And it's knocked away and incomplete. David Moore, the intended target. And it's 2nd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back. But that's one step in the proper direction.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will be marked down inside of New Orleans 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. They run the counter. Carson. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Mike, 53. 53. Mike. Exit.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Now Myers for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. They go play action. Bridgewater eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to let it. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver. Anytime.
Bridgewater flushed out right. Shreds him with a stiff arm. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
Let's go. Let's do this.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him, and he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Play action now. Bridgewater. And his throw here's incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. But now it'll be 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Bridgewater from the gun on third down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Fourth down, they're going. Bridgewater. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. So they'll trudge off the field with a bitter taste in their mouths after that failed fourth down conversion.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of analysis there on the sidelines. Was it the right call? Was it against the right defense? Should they have even gone for it at all? Will that change what they do going forward in this game? A lot of questions to be answered by them. The defense doesn't really care. They're like, bring it on again. We'll stop you the next time, too. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, it's Carson, and he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
On third down, Carson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Bridgewater to throw it. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist. They're
indeed going for it. Bridgewater. And that's caught by Smith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. To the air again with Bridgewater. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing. And I think the ball's out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. Accelerating, and off he goes. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. The extra point now coming from Myers. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. Smith catches left side. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cook. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Escaping the pressure right. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Saints on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll throw again. Bridgewater. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. Ziggy Ansah able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now Bridgewater on 4th down. Open man is Michael Thomas. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Full trot. Hey, 1 set. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Hey, come on, oh.
Right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike.
Echo. Here we go.
Final play of the half, Bridgewater. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports halftime report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll start at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. And it's the Buccaneers who are out in front in the second quarter. Justin Watson, a touchdown reception. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. 2 touchdown passes there for Mason Rudolph. Finally, let's get to the desert. Let's check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And that one all even as they play the visiting Carolina Panthers. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Teddy Bridgewater and the Saints set to take over. And this is, unfortunately for him, a montage he's probably not going to want to keep here for his files.
And I'm not so sure that he would describe it as a spotlight, although it is beating down on him pretty well, as is the rush. He's been hit, harassed, uncomfortable. It's been a really, really tough day for him.
Been sacked 6 times. See all that pressure coming from all angles. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. Jadeveon Clowney able to record his 5th sack of the season. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Throwing. Bridgewater. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Now that's the way to start the second half. Back-to-back sacks. Whatever the halftime speech was, I hope they recorded it.
3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Here's Bridgewater. And they're going to sack him yet again. The pass rush has been relentless. This time, it yields a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Taken in at the 22.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like we...
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now as his guys continue to pour it on. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Now Myers for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
First down, Bridgewater. Rolling to his right. And this one's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field.
Bridgewater. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Jadeveon Clowney make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Third and long for Bridgewater. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The road to be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. first play of the drive, going for 14 and also going for a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Let's go. Mike, number 53. Let's go. Let's get this ball back.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turns into a nice play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Wilson, and that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Demario Davis, got a hand in to break that one up.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
they
don't
get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The Saints on fourth down last year, 13 of 16, second best in the league, and they'll try it here. On fourth down, they do snap it to Bridgewater. And this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for it predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. To throw is Wilson. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Only a yard of the completion. It's 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Wilson. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Touchdown, Seahawks. Jason Myers for the extra point.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Myers connects on the PAT, and that will extend this big lead. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team. Yeah,
we'll see if they can recoup and recover. A good pickup there on first as a screen pass gets a made. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now Bridgewater. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. That one a first down pickup of 8. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. The 330-pounder Al Woods brings the boom on the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
22 yards there, a first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. To throw is Bridgewater. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. Well, he's going to go for it all. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. Bridgewater to throw for it on 4th. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is going to be incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on fourth. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards on the play, first down. On first down, it's Carson. It gets by him, and now a little daylight. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. Now it's Carson. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be a great...
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Cut it left. Cut it left.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Carson. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. They go play action with Wilson. Left side complete to Lockett. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A first down there on a pickup of 25. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play, 2nd and 3. They'll toss it out to Carson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Right back to him on first down. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Back now in Seattle, Washington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year, as his guys continue to pour it on.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This
but
is one of our guys.
She's singing, too.
Oh, she's singing. She's
on, like, the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
From the gun, Bridgewater. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. They'll run on 1st down. Carson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They run again with Carson. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Good job right there. Check.
On 3rd down, it's Carson. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the 1st. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Jadeveon Clowney racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Here's Bridgewater. He's going to fire one deep up. That's caught at the 25. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. To throw, Bridgewater. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Bridgewater again. And that is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
It is intercepted at the goal line. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Chris Carson trotting back out there. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. It's a big play there for Seattle. 57 yards on the ground.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Von Bell up to make the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. He's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Penny, the first down carry. A gain of 3, second down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
Check, 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 check. Kill, 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 kill.
To the right side, and he's got more complete. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else.
36 foul.
On third down, Carson. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And Myers able to knock it through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Looking to throw again on second down. Bridgewater eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Brad McDougal. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on.
Wilson now to throw on third down. And he's got his target. That's Moore. The 40, 30, past the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. David Moore, 78 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track? And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Yeah, and that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's really a difficult task.
Out of the gun, Bridgewater looking deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
Gotta go, in and out. Let's go. Check 37. Check 37.
On third down, Carson. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to fourth down.
Well, they got off the field on third down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so.
And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
46, boys. 46. 46 to Mike.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Bridgewater. Flushed out right. He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well-coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Tight right. 4 down. Alert. Zoom.
Now Bridgewater on 4th down. He's going to let it fly. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And boy, possession here turns over with a football already being in the red zone.
Mike, 6. What's the run? They're running it.
On 1st down. It's Carson, and he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. And Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.